Hello there, BoBo the Bitcoiner is back. Recently, I saw an interview with Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy. I thought it's worth sharing with you what he said. Right? He started off by saying Bitcoin is its own monetary system of the 20th century, from analog to digital. Bitcoin is dematerializing. In other words, getting rid of the accountant, the auditor, the compliance function, the information technology function, the human resource function, the security function, the facilities function, the police force, the military, the function of war, and the function of politics. All these things are dematerialized and they are collapsing into the Bitcoin network. Wow, big statement, right? He then explained, and it's very interesting and logical what he said. In an accounting system, all right, in an accounting system, every 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, you have to close the book. And it involves the finance people, the accountants, and the auditor. And the auditing process is manual and expensive. Bitcoin, close the book every 10 minutes. When the block is mined. The very true, right? Every 10-minute transaction is get certified and registered into the blockchain, cannot be altered, erased, or reversed. It's closed. Permanent for the whole world to see. Whereas private or public company, the accounts are never quite closed, as you are never quite sure. Bank got compliance function. You're not supposed to enter a non-compliance transaction or not permissible or inappropriate transaction. Problem is the compliance sometimes comes after the transaction are entered into. Whereas Bitcoin system, you can't even enter a non-permissible or an inappropriate transaction in the first place. A bank or a money transfers agent in the fiat world has a big IT department, a bunch of data center everywhere. Whereas in the Bitcoin world, the miners and the nodes is the IT infrastructure. And they are not even employed by Bitcoin network. It's completely decentralized and is self-maintaining and is self-healing and is continually upgrading itself to the process of mining. Whereas bank, they have big IT budget. They have to have continually invest in IT or they become outdated. Fed Bank is a also have human resource department. You have to hire people, order the equipment, configure the equipment, upgrade the equipment to do the compliance, to do the accounting, to do the transaction. Bitcoin don't have human resource department. Bitcoin has no employee, nobody to quit on you, right? No one to fire, no one to complain, no one to harass. Bitcoin take all these human factors and dematerialize them into the protocol and decentralized hardware. Security. Real bank got to have security professional, all kinds of IT security, physical security, and also worry someone hacking into their system. As long as you have someone responsible, then you have to worry about that someone. No? In Bitcoin, the security is intrinsic to the network. It's basically built into the protocol. Right? Fiat Bank need physical property facilities in the middle of the city, and they got landlord, they got lease, and they are paying. And if they own the property, they have to pay property tax and the maintenance cost. The property facilities of in Bitcoin are the miners and the node, wherever they might be. Right? You got a similar property model in gold. So in order to make the fiat banking work, you have to have the police force, because the next layer is physical or civil security, and that's provided by the police force. If you have $5 million in the bank, you need a police force or a high security alarm in any city, right? Otherwise you'll be robbed. If you have $1 billion Bitcoin in any city, you don't rely upon the police force, nor does anyone know you have it. And if they did, the security of the Bitcoin is in the blockchain. Bitcoin is the apex property. It's the highest form of property rights. It is the thing you can bring to your grave. Now, you can take go to the grave, but they all fail, right? 2005 years ago, when the Egyptians create pyramid and hidden tomb, they still have the tomb robbers, people who break into pyramid. Every other tomb with treasure in it was raided and looted. There's no form of property where you can have your own custodian when you're alive or when you're dead. And the joke is, when someone holds a gun to your head and asks for your money, your property, right? If you say no, he shoot you anyway and get the money. But with Bitcoin, if you say no, if he shoot you, you get nothing. And you know who benefit? Other Bitcoin holder, because you help to reduce the 21 million Bitcoin. Of course, the robber will not shoot you if they cannot get the money. They probably try to negotiate with you. Right? And what happens when two countries disagree? In order to protect your money and land, you need a military, or if you don't have military, then you lose your property right. The fiat system provides the geopolitical security via the military, via war, via politics. Bitcoin is the first multinational money. All the fiats are national money. Gold is the physical money. If you want national money to work in this world, you better have a good military. You got to have a State Department in politics, and you got war. That's the real expense of fiat system. The fiat that the fact that every 20, 30, 40 years you have to fight a war, be it World War I or World War II, in order to protect your property. All wars are because of land acquiring. How does Bitcoin avoid that? Bitcoin is multinational money, and because it's challenging to locate the network, you might locate some miners, but miners you can't locate, they are off the grid. And half of the nodes are off the grid, coming through the Tor network. Tor is the identified IP address. You don't even know where they are. That means geopolitical disputes are settled in Bitcoin, and they are settled without war. All right, you've got a peaceful resolution via a political process, and there is really no incentive. If I actually raise an army of 1 million people and I got an atomic bomb, I can't use that to get your Bitcoin. So again, the transnational violence is not really encouraged with Bitcoin. What we have done is we have taken a fiat system that was constructed to make gold money faster, smarter, stronger, and done the best technology of 20th century. We take the 20th century model and replace it with the 21st century model that makes money faster, smarter, stronger again. It's hard to underestimate or to understand how much inefficiencies are eliminated. If you replace all the bank and exchanges, half the police and half the militaries will be taken away. You realize that Bitcoin is providing that monetary system that does something better 1,000,000 times cheaper. Gold is a spoil of war, land is a spoil of war, Bitcoin digital property is not a spoil of war. In the proof of work model, I generate a bunch of hashes. I try to solve the problem, and then I claim the reward, and I get paid for my work. Miner is never guaranteed that he will win the block, but somebody is guaranteed to win a block every 10 minutes. That's the beauty. All the Bitcoin miners are competing by honest work to win their share of their effort and energy. You have the Bitcoin difficulty adjustment. You think of it like difficulty as a protocol for competition and proof of work, algorithm as the protocol for work. The Bitcoin network rests on competitive work. That's unique in a protocol in the financial system. You can see that Go is a little bit similar. Bitcoin work difficulty feels a lot like the work and the difficulties in capitalism. Bitcoin is a miniature copy of capitalism. You look at every single industry. I work hard with win customer, right? And I get paid. And there's no guarantee I will get them, right? If I launch a restaurant, it may fail, it may succeed. If more people set up restaurant, then it get harder, and maybe market will grow, maybe won't. Somebody know, nobody know. There's uncertainty. There is competition. What is clear is if I'm incompetent and I don't get up and go to work, I'm guaranteed I don't get Bitcoin. Right? You will never mine the next block. And I guarantee you, if you turn off your Bitcoin mining machine, you won't even have tried. Bitcoin is based on capitalism. Capitalism is based on nature. Bitcoin is the adaptive control system, and it's targeting correct. It is self-correcting monetary system. You know, I really take my hats off to Michael Saylor. His deep understanding of Bitcoin is beyond many professionals. Hope you enjoyed today's story. Don't forget to like, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.